On December 19, 1984, the good guy, Daniel LaRusso, and Johnny Lawrence are in the final of All Valley Karate Tournament. Johnny's coach tells him to show no mercy and use any means necessary to win the match. The points are level. Whoever scores the next point wins the match. Daniel, by a kick on Johnny's face, wins the match. Now, 34 years have passed, and we see Johnny waking up in his apartment, which is not clean at all. He walks out and sees a young boy named Miguel. Miguel tells Johnny that they recently moved in and are his new neighbors. Johnny complains subtly about the increasing number of immigrants. Miguel asks Johnny if he too is having some water problems in his apartment. Johnny seems frustrated and tells Miguel that he has been living here for the last 10 years and nothing has ever worked properly. He tells Miguel that the only good thing about this place is that he does not have to talk with anyone, and then he leaves in his car. Johnny sees a large billboard for LaRusso Auto Group and seems jealous of the success his old rival Daniel has achieved. Later, we see Johnny work as a handyman around different houses. One day, a wealthy lady complains to Johnny that he has attached the TV to the wrong wall and asks him to fix it on the right wall immediately. Johnny tells the lady that it will take time and will fix it tomorrow. They both get into an argument, and Johnny gets fired. At night, when Johnny goes into a mini-mart for a slice of pizza, he is met with Miguel, who tells Johnny that he is there to buy medicines for his sick grandmother. Johnny can't wait to eat his pizza slice, but the shopkeeper there is taking too much time, causing Johnny to behave rudely. The shopkeeper makes a light joke to Miguel about Johnny in Spanish. Johnny throws the money and goes out to eat in peace. Later, he sees a few young boys entering the mini-mart. After a few minutes, these boys get out and are bullying Miguel. Miguel seems helpless in front of them. At first, Johnny does not interfere. However, one of the boys throws Miguel into Johnny's car, making Johnny furious. He asks the boys to leave the kid alone, but the boys start laughing at Johnny. One of the boys recognizes Johnny from when he came to their house to clean their sewer and tells him to get the hell out of there and pushes him. At this, Johnny gets very angry and kicks those guys' butts with his karate moves. Miguel is both shocked and impressed to see this. Soon, the police arrive at the scene and arrest Johnny. The following day, Johnny arrives at his apartment in his car. We see Miguel already waiting for him outside. He thanks Johnny for his help and inquires whether it is Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, or MMA moves he used last night to beat those boys. Johnny tells him that it is old-school karate. Miguel asks him to teach him all this, but Johnny refuses, saying, "I must find a job." Miguel tells him that he could open his karate school, which is called a dojo. Miguel insists that if Johnny does not teach him any moves, then when the school opens, those boys will kick his butt again. Johnny tells Miguel to stop being so annoying, and then maybe the boys will leave him alone. Johnny enters the apartment and sees a lady on his couch and asks her who she is. Also there, we see an old man looking at meat in Johnny's fridge. The old man is Johnny's stepfather, and the woman is with him. The stepfather asks Johnny to say thank you to him for bailing Johnny out of jail again. Johnny then tells him that he never asked for his help. The stepfather looks at a picture of Johnny's mother and says how much he loves her and promises to take good care of her son. He then asks Johnny about Johnny's son Robbie and inquiries about the last time he saw him. Johnny gets angry and asks him to get the hell out, but he refuses to leave. He then offers money to Johnny to get out of his life forever, but Johnny refuses to take his help and tears a small piece of paper his stepfather gave him. At night, Johnny is watching a TV program. He is interrupted by a commercial for LaRusso Motors. He tries to change the channel, but the remote does not work. He gets furious and throws the remote at the screen, destroying the TV. He gets out in his car on the road, remembering his old days with his rival Daniel. He stops at the All Valley Sports Arena and goes out. He starts to remember how badly his coach treated him after he lost the fight to Daniel, even though he tried his best to win. He is busy with his thoughts when a car with a bunch of young girls crashes into his car. He gets furious and asks the girls to get out, but they, in a panic, drive off. He tries to start his car, but it does not start. He calls for a repairman who tows his car to their repair store. Johnny gets frustrated again when he sees the LaRusso Motors logo on the man's card. In the morning, Johnny goes to the LaRusso store and asks to give him his car back. The lady at the counter says they offer the best prices, but Johnny refuses and wants his car back, to which the lady agrees. Johnny is in a hurry and doesn't want to encounter Daniel, but Daniel sees him and greets him warmly and makes Johnny meet his coworkers too. They make fun of Johnny for how he lost his last fight to Daniel. Daniel then offers to fix Johnny's car for free, which he hesitatingly accepts. Daniel sees his daughter and goes to meet her. Johnny is shocked to see that it is the same girl who was in the car that damaged his car last night. Daniel then gives Johnny a bonsai tree, saying that every customer gets one. He also tells Johnny that he does not blame him for their past rivalry. He says that it was because of Cobra Kai, and he is happy that Cobra Kai does not exist anymore. In the next scene, Johnny meets Miguel and asks him if he is ready to learn karate because once he starts, there is no turning back. He tells him that he will teach him how to awaken the snake within, and after training, everyone will fear him. Miguel gets excited by hearing this. Then we see Johnny connecting the two pieces of the same paper he tore earlier that day and using it to rent a place for his training. Johnny uses the place he rented earlier to make his dojo. We can see the name Cobra Kai Karate that Johnny has given to his dojo. We see Johnny and Miguel standing inside the dojo facing each other. Johnny asks Miguel to address him as sensei only. Miguel is ready to start his training when Johnny suddenly grabs Miguel and slams him onto the floor. He teaches him his first lesson to never wait for the enemy to attack and to always strike first. Miguel gets up and starts using his inhaler. He tells Johnny that he has asthma. Johnny snatches the inhaler and smashes it onto the wall, breaking it into pieces. Johnny seems to not believe in real medical problems like asthma. Johnny tells Miguel to leave his made-up bullshit like asthma outside before entering the dojo. Johnny tells Miguel to be a real man with some aggression and advises him not to be a pussy, to which Miguel poses that Johnny treats him in wrong way. Hearing this, Johnny orders him to shut up and do 50 push-ups on his knuckles. After that, Miguel lies on the floor and starts doing push-ups. An official-looking man enters the dojo. Johnny goes to this man and asks him if he wants to learn karate. The man tells Johnny that he is from the city health department and is here to make sure that this place is up to health and safety codes. He gives Johnny a list of paperwork to fill that is necessary for the insurance that Johnny needs to officially start running his place. He tells Johnny that he will visit again after 1 week for the inspection and leaves. On the other hand, we see Daniel waking up in his big house, eating breakfast with his beautiful family, and going out to work in his expensive car. While waiting at a red light, he sees the Cobra Kai Karate hoarding outside Johnny's dojo. He is confused to see Cobra Kai back. This makes him remember his past rivalry with Cobra Kai. Later in the day, Daniel and his family are at a party in a country club. Daniel's son is playing games on his pad. Daniel goes to his son and tells him to do some real fun activity, but his son refuses and continues playing his game. Daniel goes to see his wife, Amanda. He complains to her about how ungrateful their son is for the luxurious life that they have provided him with. While they are busy talking, a family comes to meet them, and their daughter asks Daniel why she hasn't seen his daughter Samantha, her old friend, all summer. Amanda quickly answers by saying that Samantha is at her grandma's house. The family tells them to enjoy the party and leave. Daniel asks Amanda why she has lied about Samantha being at her grandma's house. Amanda tells Daniel that she does not want Samantha's old friends to know that Samantha does not want to spend any more time with them. Daniel appears as if something is troubling him in his mind. His wife asks him if something is wrong. He tries to tell her about Johnny's new Cobra Kai dojo, but cannot because his son interrupts him by asking for another drink. In the next scene, we see Miguel cleaning the dojo to make it up to code when he sees Johnny's trophies. After seeing Miguel staring at the trophies, Johnny comes to him and tells him that he won a couple of All-Valley tournaments and did not lose a single point in junior year. Then Miguel asks what happened in the senior year. Hearing this question, Johnny gets frustrated and tells him to shut up and clean the floor. Miguel is about to continue the cleaning when he receives a phone call. Miguel informs the person on the call that he will be late because of the debate team and hangs up after saying, "Love you too." Johnny asks Miguel if it was his girlfriend who called him. Miguel tells him that it was his mother on the phone. He also tells Johnny that he lied to his mother about joining the debate team because she doesn't like violence. When Johnny asks Miguel whether his father approves of his karate training or not, Miguel tells him that he never knew his father. Johnny seems sorry to hear this but tells Miguel to get back to work and change his stupid ringtone to Guns N' Roses or something. Miguel has no idea what Guns N' Roses is. In the afternoon, Daniel and Amanda reach home. They are shocked to see that their daughter has thrown a pool party. Daniel gets furious and hurries to the pool. He stops the music and asks everyone to leave right now. This makes his daughter Samantha very upset. Amanda takes Daniel inside the house where they have a big argument about his behavior and letting their daughter live the way she wants. At night, Daniel is cleaning the house when he happens to look upon an old photo of him with his sensei. He wishes that his sensei was here to guide him. Daniel remembers the time when little Samantha used to practice karate with him. Later in the night, Daniel goes to Samantha's room where she is talking to her friends on the laptop. She asks him to come in and closes her laptop. Daniel comes inside and tries to apologize for his behavior earlier today when she cuts him, and apologizes for not asking for his permission before inviting her friends. Daniel comes forward and sits beside her on the bed. He asks her if he needs to worry about any of her friends. She tells him not to worry. She also tells him about a boy named Kyler who she has been texting lately. Daniel asks her to invite Kyler over for dinner. The next day in school, Miguel is looking for a place to sit during lunch. He goes to a table where two shy and nerdy boys named Dimitri and Eli are sitting with them. While having lunch, Miguel sees Samantha and her rich friends from afar. Dimitri, noticing Miguel checking Samantha out, tells him that those rich girls are out of their league. Samantha and her friends are talking to each other. One of their friends makes fun of Eli's clothes and another girl's clothes named, who is the same girl who asked Samantha's dad about Samantha. Miguel tries to strike first and goes to talk to Samantha when a boy who bullied him comes and sits with her. Miguel accepts his defeat and goes back to sit at his own table. Later we see Johnny teaching Miguel how to punch someone in the face. Johnny receives a phone call from his son Robbie's vice principal at school. Johnny asks her to contact Robbie's mother, to which the principal says that his mother is not picking up her phone. Robbie is caught with some drugs at school. The principal gives the phone to Robbie. Robbie takes the phone, tells his father that he is a pathetic father and a loser, and gives the phone back to the principal. The principal tells Johnny that she will try again to call Robbie's mother and hangs up. Johnny goes back to train Miguel and tells him to imagine the face of his enemy while punching. Miguel remembers the same guy, Kyler, who sat with Samantha during lunch. At night, Samantha's family is eating dinner with her boyfriend, Kyler. Daniel asks Kyler about a scar on his face and hands. The boy tells him about a man who kicked his butt with the karate moves near the mini-mart. At the dojo, Johnny is filling in the required paperwork for his insurance, and Miguel is cleaning the toilets. Suddenly, Daniel enters the dojo and tells Johnny to stay away from his daughter's friends. He also tells Miguel to stay away from Johnny. Johnny asks Daniel to advise his daughter to choose her friends wisely. Daniel leaves after telling him that they are not done. The episode starts with an old lady who is cooking in her kitchen. She goes to Miguel's room and calls him to come and eat. Miguel comes out of his room and sits at the table to eat. He is almost finished eating when his mother, Carmen, comes home from the hospital where she works. She sits at the table to eat. She asks Miguel if he has decided what to wear for the Halloween dance party at school. He says he wants a Deadpool costume, but it is very expensive. She says that she can make one for him at home. In the next scene, Miguel is practicing his punching skills. We see Johnny with some bills he has not paid. Miguel asks Johnny when he will teach him some kicking because kicking is badass. Johnny tells Miguel that he is not ready yet. He also tells him that if he doesn't get any more students, he won't be able to pay the bills and teach him anything at all. Miguel gives him the idea to advertise to get more students. Meanwhile, Daniel and his wife are getting ready for the office. Daniel is worried about his daughter's boyfriend Kyler's character because Johnny had warned Daniel about him. His wife tells him to trust his daughter rather than Johnny. We see Daniel sitting in his office with his coworkers, and they start giving him silly advice about how to protect his daughter. They also advise him to keep an eye on her phone, but Daniel says that he is going to let her daughter decide for her. In school, a counselor is teaching the kids about the seriousness of cyberbullying. She tells them that a kid at school has been a victim of cyberbullying. Everyone seems to know that the kid is Eli with weird lips. Miguel advises his friends Dimitri and Eli to join his karate dojo, but they refuse. They tell Miguel that they would rather spend their time playing video games than getting punched. Later, Samantha's friend Aisha gives a costume idea for the two of them for the Halloween party, but Samantha refuses, saying she has already decided on the costume. Samantha's other friend then shames Aisha for being fat. After that, Johnny is seen giving his karate dojo signboard to a homeless woman to spin around all day and grab attention. He also puts flyers all over the city. At night, Daniel comes into his daughter's room, but she is in the shower. He sees a text on her laptop from her boyfriend Kyler about a plan to sneak out of the Halloween party. He starts to worry about Samantha's safety. His wife suddenly comes into the room and asks him about what he is doing on her laptop. He lies to her about having some Wi-Fi related issues and that he wants to check if Samantha has them too. During dinner, Samantha tells her parents that she is feeling bad for Aisha, but she also does not want to wear her nerdy costume. Daniel tells his daughter that he has agreed to be a chaperone for their dance party. Samantha does not like this, but her dad assures her that his presence will not harm her dance party plans at all. The following day, Johnny enters his dojo where Miguel is waiting for him outside. Johnny tells him that there will be no training today. He is upset because his advertising did not go as planned. Miguel then shows him the web page he created for Cobra Kai. He shows Johnny different possibilities for the advertisement. Johnny seems pleased with this idea and wants to teach Miguel about kicking. He takes Miguel to the high school swimming pool at midnight. He teaches him about using his legs to survive in the water by tying Miguel's hands and throwing him into the pool. Miguel starts to learn how to kick his legs properly. He is now training to kick and is breaking the boards easily. Miguel is proud of his progress and upset because he can't share this with his mother. Johnny is carrying bills in his hands and is worried about the money. He tells Miguel to wear his costume. He is driving Miguel to school and hopes to advertise his dojo there. Miguel is wearing a very bad handmade costume. Seeing this, Johnny provides Miguel with a skeleton costume that he wears to the dance. Entering the party, Miguel goes to his friends, who are wearing nerdy costumes. Samantha goes to Aisha and apologizes for not pairing her costume with her. Aisha tells her not to worry and that she understands the situation very well. In the party, Lady Teacher thanks Daniel for volunteering to chaperone. There, Daniel sees Miguel in a skeleton costume and recalls his past. Daniel goes after Miguel and sees a flyer on the wall about Johnny's Cobra Kai karate. He sees Johnny sticking a flyer on the wall and asks him to stop corrupting young kids' brains with your stupid principles of Cobra Kai. Johnny asks Miguel to mind his own business. While talking to Johnny, Daniel sees Samantha going into a room with Kyler. Misunderstanding the situation, Daniel enters the room and tells Samantha to stay away from this boy. Kyler shows a bracelet saying that this is his grandma's, and he wants to give it to her. Samantha is furious with her father and leaves the room. Meanwhile, Samantha's friends bully Aisha by recording her, making an insulting video, and posting it online for the whole school to watch. On the other hand, Miguel and his friends go into the washroom and meet with their bullies Kyler and his friends who got their asses kicked by Johnny. Seeing that Johnny is not here to help Miguel now, they beat Miguel up badly and leave. Johnny enters the room and sees Miguel lying on the floor. We see Johnny dropping Miguel off at his home. Miguel's mother, Carmen, is devastated to see Miguel in a bad state. She tells Johnny to stay away from Miguel from now on. Johnny is drinking on the road when he sees Daniel's billboard. He gets frustrated. He swaps his beer cans for a spray can and paints a large thing on Daniel's face. In the morning, when Daniel is driving to work, he sees the thing painted over his face. Daniel is furious and wants the police to arrest the person who painted it. On the other hand, Johnny's son Robbie, with the help of his thug friends, defrauds a customer by posing to work in a repair shop and stealing a laptop. After that, Robbie sees his father's Cobra Kai flyer lying on the road. Meanwhile, Miguel is resting on the sofa, and his mother Carmen brings him an ice bag. She advises Miguel to stay away from Johnny because he is a big loser. Miguel tries to tell his mother that Johnny is not who she thinks of him but a good man. Carmen asks Miguel to never see Johnny again. Johnny receives a call from Robbie's principal who tells him that Robbie has been absent for a month. Johnny comes to know that Robbie has lied to the principal about a holiday trip with his father. Johnny gets out of his apartment and sees Miguel waiting for him outside. Miguel tells Johnny that his mother has forbidden him to train anymore, but he wants to continue his training. Johnny tells Miguel that there will be no more training from now on, and he is closing the dojo. At school, everyone is making fun of Aisha's viral video. Samantha goes up to Aisha and tells her that everyone will forget about the video after a while. Aisha tells Samantha that she will never forget about this humiliation. In the meantime, Johnny goes to his ex-wife's apartment where Robbie is chilling with his friends. Johnny tells him to attend the school. Robbie does not want to attend school and asks Johnny if he achieved anything by going to school. Robbie tells Johnny that his mom is okay with him not attending school, and he does not want Johnny in his life now, after he has been absent from his life for the past 16 years. Johnny leaves the apartment after hearing this. Then, Johnny goes to a bar where his wife is seemingly trying to scam a nerd for a free meal. He asks her the reason why she is okay with their son not attending school. She is surprised to see Johnny suddenly interested in their son's life and tells him that Robbie does not listen to her anymore. Johnny tells her that he can take Robbie to stay at his place and make him go to school. He tells her that he cannot give up on their son. His wife angrily tells him that he gave up on Robbie on day one and now they don't want him in their life anymore. At school, Miguel is sitting with his friends in the library when Kyler and his friend come and start to bully them. Samantha sees Kyler bullying those boys from a corner. Miguel's mother comes to pick Miguel from school as a way of keeping an eye on him and to make sure that he does not go to Johnny, and tells him that she wants to watch a movie together. Miguel is upset and just wants to go home. She agrees and takes him home. Daniel, who is watching a new TV spot idea of his competitor Cole, finds it offensive and misleading. He goes to Cole's office to confront him, but Cole starts to make fun of his billboard incident and offers him boba tea. Daniel asks Cole to stop his false advertisement. Cole tells Daniel that he is doing this too, by showing himself to be a karate guy in his ads. Daniel shows his karate move by kicking the boba tea in Cole's hands and then leaves. At night, Samantha and Kyler are watching a movie in the cinema. Kyler tries to kiss Samantha, but she stops him. She tells him that she saw what Kyler did to Miguel and his friends. Kyler lies by saying that they are all friends and are just having fun. Kyler tries to take advantage of Samantha, but she stops him, gets up, and leaves. Later, Johnny is eating his food at dinner when he sees a father and his son bonding together. He feels bad about his past decision to give up on his son. He goes to Miguel's house and knocks on the door. Carmen opens the door and asks him to leave. He tells her that Miguel is the only person who has not given up on Johnny. Johnny begs her to let Miguel train with him because he does not want to let Miguel down. Her mother tells her to trust Johnny. The next morning, Samantha comes to eat breakfast made by her father. She is no longer mad at him and realizes that he was right about Kyler. This makes Daniel happy, and he goes to the office. There, he finds out that the person who painted the large thing on his face was, in fact, Johnny. Miguel comes to Johnny and tells him that his mother has allowed him to train and that they can continue. The episode starts and we see Johnny training Miguel. He teaches Miguel everything about defense and attack techniques. Miguel has improved a lot. Suddenly, a bunch of women enters the dojo. Johnny tells Miguel that he has sublet the place to earn a few extra bucks. We see Daniel having lunch with his family in a country club. He has invited a businessman named Armand, whose membership has been revoked by the club. He asks Armand if he wants to sell any property in an area called Reseda. Armand tells Daniel that he only owns a strip mall in Reseda. Daniel asks Armand to inform him first if he ever decides to sell any property in Reseda. Daniel promises to help Armand get reinstated in the club in return. Actually, Daniel's karate club is located in Reseda, and Johnny wants to buy it so that he can pose hurdles in Johnny's karate club. Samantha tells her mother that her friends have been ignoring her. She finds out that they went to a concert without her. Her mother tells her that she is better off without such selfish friends. After that, we see Robbie, who has made plans to watch a movie and hang out with his mother. But she refuses him and tells him that she has to go out and meet some people. She is searching for a partner for life. We see Miguel training with Johnny when Aisha enters the dojo and asks for admission. Johnny refuses, saying this is no place for women. Miguel convinces Johnny to train her, saying she gets bullied a lot. Johnny agrees and tells Aisha to kick the butts of those who harass her. He tells her to stand up for herself. Daniel is on a call with Armand and asks him to sell his strip mall. Armand thinks it is some sort of a salesman trick and refuses to sell. Samantha's friends are smoking in the car when Samantha enters the car. She asks them the reason they are avoiding her. They tell her that Kyler informed them that Samantha thinks she is better than her friends and that she sucked him in a movie theater. Samantha tells them it is a lie, but they don't believe her, and she gets out of the car. In the dojo, Aisha and Miguel face off. Miguel hesitates to fight Aisha because he doesn't want to hurt her, but Aisha kicks his butt. Johnny says that Aisha is a natural cobra. Suddenly, Johnny hears yelling in a nearby shop and goes there to tell them to shut up. There, Armand is in an argument with the shopkeeper about doubling the rent. Johnny is now worried a lot about rent money. He goes to a pawn shop in hopes of getting a few bucks, but he is not able to earn much. Later that evening, he goes to a mini-mart to grab a drink when Daniel also enters there. Daniel seems happy to find his rival Johnny in such poor condition and pays for his drink for him. Daniel reaches home and starts pouring wine for his wife. She asks him why he is in such a good mood. Daniel tells her all about his plan to increase the rent in the strip mall where Johnny's dojo is located. His wife is disappointed with him and says he is not the same man she married. At night, Robbie is checking out his father's webpage when his mom enters the house. She is with a drunk man. They go into a room and close the door. The next day, at school, Samantha is looking for a place to sit, but her friends don't want her to sit with them. She goes to Aisha, but she too doesn't want her to sit there. Aisha tells her about Kyler's rumor of getting a blowjob from Samantha in a movie theater. Samantha confronts Kyler, but he makes fun of her and her father. Miguel, seeing this, stands up for Samantha. Kyler warns him to stay away. Miguel, using his sensei's training, kicks the butt of Kyler and his friends, and everybody cheers for him and makes a video of him fighting them that soon goes viral. After coming home from school, Miguel tells Johnny about the whole incident. He feels proud of Miguel and gives him a jersey that he wore for his first tournament and hugs Miguel. Robbie sees his father hugging Miguel from a corner. After disappointing his wife, Daniel goes to his sensei's grave and wishes that he was here to guide him. He remembers his sensei giving him advice about maintaining a balance of everything in life. Daniel goes to his house and clears a room for karate practice. His wife is happy to see this. The next day, Johnny reaches his dojo and sees a bunch of guys waiting outside ready to get admission in his dojo after they saw Miguel fighting. Robbie is seen applying for a job at LaRusso Motors. He wants to work for his father's rival to only hurt his father's feelings. Daniel's wife gives Robbie a job and asks to start on Monday. We see a flashback where young Johnny is peeking inside Cobra Kai dojo and sees people training. Fast forward to the present day, Johnny is standing inside his dojo with a bunch of teenagers. He makes fun of their faces and body to make them tough. He makes fun of Eli's lips. Dimitri stands up for himself, thinking that Johnny will not touch him, but Johnny kicks his butt. Later, Dimitri decides to quit, but Miguel requests him to continue. Dimitri tells him that he doesn't need karate for his protection because he has Miguel with him. In his home, Daniel is practicing his moves alone and asks her daughter to join him, but she refuses. He goes to his wife, but she refuses too. Robbie is seen working hard at LaRusso Motors. Daniel's cousin Louis makes a fool out of Robbie by telling him to move a car in the showroom. Daniel gets angry at Robbie. Robbie decides to quit, but Daniel tells him to stay and says that he did not know about Louis's trap. Robbie earns some good faith from Daniel, who is not aware that he is the son of his longtime rival Johnny. While at school, Samantha is still being harassed about her rumor with Kyler, and no one wants to join her in biology lab. But Miguel offers to take her into his group. They are dissecting a pig when Samantha thanks Miguel for standing up for her in front of Kyler. Samantha and Miguel become close friends. The next day, Johnny sees that most of the students have quit his karate dojo. Johnny again makes fun of Elise's lips, who does not want to address it. He gets furious and gets out. Miguel requests Johnny to treat his students politely. Johnny tells Miguel that his dojo has no place for losers. Robbie is again tricked by Daniel's cousin Louie to give a sales report to Daniel's house. When Robbie reaches Daniel's home and gives him the report, the sales report turns out to be a dirty magazine. Daniel tells Robbie that it was his fault to get fooled again. Daniel offers Robbie to teach him karate, to which he agrees. Johnny is training his students when Eli enters with a weird hairstyle and renames himself Hawk. Eli's confidence has increased a lot. Johnny starts training his students with a new spirit. Daniel is training Robbie by making him do chores in the office. At night, Robbie realizes the effect of work on him that he has done all day. Johnny sees the ad for All Valley Karate Championship in a magazine. He and Miguel are excited to enroll themselves in championship. Robbie is having lunch when his friends come and threaten Miguel to get security code for the dealership so that they can steal the spare parts. Miguel asks Samantha to go on a date. She refuses by saying she just got out of a relationship. Miguel tells her to go out with him as friends to have fun, to which she agrees. By recording a video on his phone, Robbie now knows the security code for the door. Johnny comes to know that Cobra Kai has been banned from entering the All Valley tournament for life and tells this to Miguel. Miguel advises Johnny not to lose hope and solve this matter delicately. Daniel is talking to Robbie when Robbie receives a text from his friends to break into the showroom tonight. Johnny is suited booted to attend the sports board meeting. Meanwhile, Miguel and Samantha go to a place to play mini golf and other games. Samantha tells him that it is the same place she used to visit with her father in her childhood. They both enjoy themselves very much, and later that night, Samantha kisses Miguel. In the meeting, Johnny asks the board to revoke the ban on Cobra Kai to enter the tournament. Daniel, who is a member of the board, enters the room. Daniel is strictly against the decision to unban Cobra Kai, but some board members want to remove the ban. They cast a vote for the final decision. Johnny goes out of the room. The board votes by ballot. After a while, Daniel comes out of the room and congratulates Johnny. The ban has been removed from Cobra Kai. At night, Robbie's thug friends reach in front of the showroom and look for Robbie. Robbie comes out of the corner. They ask him about the security code, but Robbie refuses to give the code to them. Robbie says that it is wrong and that they should not do this. His friends try to beat the code out of him, but he uses the moves that Daniel has taught him and kicks their butts. They are about to grab him when he points to the security camera that has captured their faces. They leave him there and run away. Johnny tells Miguel about the news that Cobra Kai has been unbanned and they can enter the tournament. They are very happy and celebrate. Johnny brings his students to the junkyard and there he trains them. He uses his unique methods like making dogs chase them to make them physically and mentally strong. At LaRusso's home, Daniel is making sausages and his mother is telling the family about the boys of Cobra Kai. She tells them that those boys always used to bully Daniel and once pushed him from a hill. Daniel tells his daughter that all the boys at Cobra Kai are bully and asks her to stay away from those boys. Samantha gets worried hearing all this because she now likes Miguel, who is the star boy of Cobra Kai. We see Miguel training hard in the dojo when Johnny comes and tells him to save himself for the tournament. He tells Miguel that he is the only one who has the potential to win the tournament. Miguel is flattered to hear this. Miguel takes out his phone to see a picture that his girlfriend has posted online. Johnny finds out that Miguel is dating Daniel LaRusso's daughter. He tells Miguel all about his past rivalry with Daniel due to a girl. He tells him how Daniel used to bully him. He tells him about the time when Daniel's master beat his friends' asses. He tells him that they decide to work things out in the tournament, and in the final, LaRusso beats him and wins the tournament. So he advises Miguel to stay away from LaRusso's daughter because in the end, he also lost his girlfriend named Ali. At night, Johnny drops Miguel at his home. Miguel's mother invites Johnny for dinner. She tells Johnny that she does not want Miguel to get hurt in the tournament. Miguel assures his mom that there are rules and referees. Miguel's mother and Johnny seem to get along well. Miguel receives a call and goes to the other room. It is Samantha's call. She asks him if they can go out on Sunday to have fun. Miguel refuses and says that he has to train on Sunday all day. Samantha subtly asks Miguel to change his dojo and leave Cobra Kai. She wants her dad not to hate Miguel just because he is in Cobra Kai. Miguel says he can never leave his sensei. He tells her that he wants to meet her family. Suddenly, her father comes and asks who she is talking to. She tells her father that it is just her lab partner. Miguel finds this odd. She says bye to Miguel and goes back to her family. At dinner, Miguel's mother is telling Johnny that it's been difficult for Miguel to make friends since they moved here. Johnny asks why they had to move. Miguel's grandma says that her daughter had fell in love with the wrong man. Miguel's mother tells Johnny that no one should let their mistakes determine their future. Johnny is inspired by this. He goes home and decides to make everything right in his life again. He also cleans his whole house after a very long time. The next morning, Robbie goes to LaRusso's home where she finds Samantha sitting by the pool. They talk a little when Daniel comes and takes him to a forest. Daniel tells Robbie that he is talented, but needs to improve his skills. They practice in the jungle to stay away from all the noise. Daniel gives Robbie the task of practicing kicks on a tree without falling. Robbie learns his lesson in no time and goes to find Daniel. He sees Daniel standing upside down in his hand. Daniel tells Robbie that it is a powerful kick move using both legs, the last thing he learned from his master. He tells Robbie that only Master Miyagi could do this. Johnny visits his stepdad and returns the money that he took from him. His stepdad is surprised to see this. Johnny tells him that he never needed his money in the first place and leaves. Daniel and Robbie come and see the dinner ready for them. Daniel's cousin Louis is absent from dinner. Miguel reaches LaRusso house and while standing outside is practicing meeting Samantha's family. Hearing noise of people taking, he goes to the side of the house to see a boy who is Robbie having dinner with Samantha and her family. He does not like this at all and leaves. We see Johnny writing a letter of apology to Robbie for being an absent father, but he is interrupted by some commotion outside. Daniel's cousin Louis, with two bikers, is destroying Johnny's car. Louis says to Johnny that it's a message from Daniel to stay away from the LaRusso family, but Johnny starts kicking their asses. One of the bikers lights Johnny's car on fire. Johnny, seeing this, gets super mad and asks Louis Daniel's address. Louis gets scared and tells him the address, and Johnny takes one of their bikes and leaves for Daniel's house. In the morning, we see Daniel with coffee in his hand. He's about to enjoy his breakfast when he sees Johnny outside his home. He goes to him and asks why the hell he has come inside the house. Johnny tells Daniel that he wants to forget about their past rivalry and move on. But Daniel, by sending men to burn his car, has crossed the limit. He wants to fight Daniel right now inside the house. Daniel tries to tell Johnny that he did not send any men to destroy his car. He tells him that it must be his stupid cousin Louis who did this. Daniel's wife tells them to resolve the matter over breakfast. They agree to eat breakfast. Robbie is seen riding his skateboard. While playing, Robbie stands upside down on one hand. Meanwhile, in school, while taking a test, Miguel cannot stop thinking about last night when he saw Samantha and her family enjoying dinner with a boy. Miguel does not know Robbie. Miguel gets out of the classroom and meets Samantha. He asks Samantha to introduce him to her parents. Samantha refuses to by saying that tonight is not the right time yet. She asks him if he wants to play some games and have fun together. But Miguel also refuses by saying he has to practice for the tournament. At home, Daniel and Amanda are sitting at the table, and Johnny is eating his breakfast. She asks Johnny about his dojo. Johnny tells her it was nice until her husband caused the rent to double. Daniel says that it was revenge for painting a large thing on his face. Johnny tells her that Daniel has burned his car. Daniel tells Johnny that he did not do any such thing, but rather fixed the car for free. Johnny tells them that it was their daughter who had wrecked his car in the first place. Amanda is shocked to hear this. Daniel gets up to go to his work. Johnny tells him he will not leave the house without the payback for his car. Amanda asks Daniel to give Johnny a used car from the showroom. They reach the showroom, and Daniel shows Johnny a bunch of old cars to choose from. Johnny chooses his car and wants a test drive. Both are in the car and start to enjoy the song on the radio. Daniel asks Johnny to pull over to a place. It is the same place where Daniel lived when he was young. Johnny tells Daniel that his childhood, too, was not as good as it used to look. He tells Daniel that he used to be bullied by his father a lot. Miguel and his friends are sitting in the playground. Miguel is worried about Samantha being non-serious in the relationship. His friends tell him to trust Samantha. Aisha is on her phone and finds out her bully, Yasmin, is throwing a party at the canyon. They decide to take revenge for Yasmin's bullying and plan to start their own party at the canyon before her. Samantha's mother is angry at Samantha for not telling her parents about the accident. She takes Samantha's phone and smartwatch and tells Samantha that she is not allowed to get out of the house. Miguel and his friends try to buy alcohol for the party with a fake ID and succeed. Miguel has been texting Samantha all day, but she is not answering any of his calls and messages. He is not aware of the fact that Samantha's mother has grounded her and taken her phone. Robbie arrives at the house and, seeing Samantha look sad, asks her the reason. She tells Robbie that she has been imprisoned in her own home. Daniel and Johnny are in the bar having a drink. They realize that they are not so different from each other. Both of their coaches were like a father figure to them. But Johnny's coach was very bad to him after Johnny lost the tournament. Yasmin and Kyler with their friends arrive at the canyon to party. They are shocked to see a party already happening there. Yasmin asks Kyler to stop their party, but Kyler sees Miguel at the party and backs away. Miguel is still texting Samantha but getting no reply. Yasmin's friend Moon sees Hawk and wants to go talk to him. Yasmin tells Moon not to go there, but she goes anyway to have a beer with Hawk. We see Robbie, who seemingly has sprained his ankle. Amanda asks Samantha to drop Robbie off to his home in the car. They both get out of the house, and Samantha realizes that Robbie is in fact fine. He planned this to break Samantha out of her home. Samantha seems impressed to see this. Daniel and Johnny are still in the bar and talk about their mutual ex-girlfriend, Allie. Daniel tells Johnny that she now lives in Denver with her husband, who is a doctor. Johnny asks Daniel how he knows all this. Then Daniel tells him that he got this information from Facebook. Johnny has no idea what Facebook is, and Daniel shows him everything. It is dark now, and Hawk is enjoying the party with Moon. Hawk advises Dimitri to build confidence in himself if he wants the girls to like him. Dimitri makes a move on Yasmin but gets rejected badly. Yasmin goes to Aisha and tells her that it is not funny to crash Yasmin's party. Yasmin makes fun of Aisha's karate and friends. Aisha takes revenge by pulling her underwear in front of everyone. Samantha and Robbie arrive at the party. She tells Robbie that her father hates Miguel's sensei and has not told her family that she is dating Miguel. Samantha wants to come clean to her father, to which Robbie can relate because he too wants to come clean to his father. They go to Miguel, who is very drunk. Miguel asks Samantha the reason she has not replied to him all day. Robbie tries to speak when Miguel pushes him, causing him to fall, and tells him to stay out of it. Robbie gets up and Miguel tries to hit him again but accidentally hits Samantha. She tells Miguel that she is done with him and will not be at the tournament and leaves the party with Robbie. Daniel and Johnny arrive at Daniel's home and decide to play a friendly match. Robbie is already at the house when he sees Daniel and is about to tell him everything when he sees his father with Daniel. Daniel tells Johnny that this is his student to whom he is teaching karate. Johnny gets furious and pushes Daniel to the wall. Robbie intervenes and asks his father to stop. Johnny seems disappointed in his son and leaves. Daniel is shocked to learn that Robbie is his longtime rival, Johnny's son. He asks Robbie what kind of games he is trying to play by lying this whole time. He tells Robbie to never come to this house or the office ever again and shuts the door in Robbie's face. We see the preparations being made for the tournament. Cobra Kai gang is waiting outside for their sensei so that they can sign up. They start to worry if he is going to come or not because one of their teammates told them that he saw Sensei last night fully drunk and pissing on his car. But Johnny arrives at last and gives them a pep talk before signing up. He tells them to give their best and teaches the third rule of Cobra Kai, that is to show no mercy. They get super excited and get ready. Daniel and Samantha are sitting at home watching TV when Amanda comes and convinces them to get over both of their breakups and move. She tells Daniel that LaRusso Motors, being a sponsor of the tournament, requires them to be there. They all get up to go together. Daniel enters the venue and everyone gets excited to see the former champion. Miguel's mother and grandma are also sitting in the crowd. Announcer welcomes all the local dojos that are competing, and Cobra Kai makes a grand entrance. Finally, the announcer welcomes Robbie, who is not affiliated with any dojo. Johnny and Daniel are surprised to see him in the tournament, and the fights begin. Miguel is fighting first with a boy, and he uses the same kick move that Daniel had used in the final against Johnny, and gets a point. Now the fights begin, and Miguel, Aisha, and Hawk all win their first fights and move forward in the tournament. Robbie also wins his fights. Aisha and one other teammate of Cobra Kai have lost their fight. Samantha goes to Aisha to appreciate her efforts. They patch up and become friends again. Miguel, Hawk, and Robbie are all in the semi-final now. Miguel fights last year's champion Xander Stone from Topanga Karate in the semi-final. Miguel wins in this nail-biting match and reaches the final. Robbie and Hawk are facing each other in the second semi-final. Hawk drops Robbie on the floor and punches him on the chest to win a point. Daniel shouts to tell Robbie to remember his training and stay focused. Robbie calms himself and punches Hawk in the face to earn a point. Robbie makes a joke about Hawk's hairstyle. Hawk is not able to control his emotions at his insult. He kicks Robbie behind the back in an illegal move that disqualifies him from the fight. Robbie has reached the final but has injured his shoulder badly. Daniel comes to Robbie, who is waiting for the final match with an injured shoulder. He tells Robbie that his father and him were rivals back in the day. Robbie apologizes to Daniel for lying. Daniel forgives Robbie and advises him to make things right with his father if he wants to balance his life. Meanwhile, Miguel goes to Samantha to apologize for his behavior the other day at the party. He tells her that he felt jealous of Robbie and stroked first. She tells him that he has changed a lot and become aggressive. She leaves before the final and goes home with her mother. A doctor fixes Robbie's dislocated shoulder. Daniel tells Robbie that he does not have to fight if he is not feeling good, but Robbie wants to face Miguel in the final. The announcement for final begins, and the announcer tells the audience that Daniel LaRusso has decided to coach Robbie, and Robbie will now be fighting for Miyagi-Do Karate with Daniel LaRusso as his sensei. Johnny tells Daniel that he is making a mistake and is going to regret this when it's over. Daniel tells him that this rivalry will never be over. Now the two fighters face each other and bow, and the fight begins. Robbie is not showing aggression and letting Miguel come to him. He kicks Miguel, who drops on the floor. Miyagi-Do earns the first point. In the next round, Miguel kicks Robbie on his shoulder and punches hard in the gut to earn Cobra Kai a point. Johnny wants Cobra Kai to win, but also doesn't want his son to get hurt. In the next round, Miguel punches Robbie very hard on his injured shoulder and kicks his legs, making Robbie fall and earning a second point. It is now 2 for Cobra Kai and 1 for Miyagi-Do. Daniel asks for a timeout. He tells Robbie to focus and find his balance. Robbie is in a lot of pain due to his shoulder. Now, the next round begins. Robbie seems focused and defends himself from Miguel's moves. Robbie has fallen on the floor but is still defending him from Miguel. He stands upside down on his right hand and throws a two-legged kick at Miguel, earning him a point. He goes to Miguel to help him stand up, but Miguel pulls his hand away that makes Robbie's shoulder hurt a lot. The crowd starts booing Miguel. Daniel tells Robbie to end the match, but Robbie says he wants to finish the fight. Johnny tells Miguel not to fight dirty, but Miguel wants to win by any means and tells Johnny that he is not going to show any mercy. The fight begins. Points are 2-2. Whoever wins the next point wins the final. The fight starts and Miguel grabs Robbie's leg in his hand and kicks him in his injured shoulder. Robbie backs away and with a kick on the chest, Miguel drops Robbie on the floor and wins the match. Miguel and Cobra Kai Dojo become the next champion. Johnny tries to talk to Robbie, but Miguel pulls Johnny into the celebration. Miguel makes a speech thanking his sensei and Cobra Kai, and everybody starts chanting Cobra Kai. Johnny goes to Robbie and tells him that he is sorry. Robbie tells his dad that it's okay. Daniel congratulates Johnny for winning. Miguel is finding Samantha in the crowd but finds out that she left before the final. We see Samantha in the room where her father practices karate and she shows her karate moves. We see Daniel and Robbie going somewhere in the car. Robbie is holding his second place's trophy and says how close he came to winning. Daniel tells him that he is the real winner because he fought with honor, unlike Miguel. Daniel shows Robbie Miyagi-Do Karate, where he plans to train his students. Later, Johnny is sitting in his dojo when a man enters and thanks him to bring justice to Cobra Kai by whining. The man is his old sensei named John Kreese, who tells Johnny that the real story has only just begun. Johnny is surprised to see him because he thought Kreese was dead. Frustrated to see him, Johnny kicks Kreese. Kreese's cigar goes flying from his mouth into the dustbin. They start fighting in the dojo and break a glass mirror. Eventually, Johnny overcomes Kreese. He shows mercy and lets go of Kreese. Seeing this, Kreese hits back, and they both drop to the floor. The fighting stops when Kreese's lit cigar starts a fire in the dustbin. The next day, we see Daniel and Robbie preparing Mr. Miyagi's house for training. At night, Daniel talks to his wife Amanda and his son Anthony. Amanda tells him that Samantha is still upset about her breakup with Miguel. Daniel is relieved that Samantha has broken up with Cobra Kai's biggest bully. He advises Anthony to join Miyagi-Do Karate instead of joining camp for the summer, but Anthony refuses and wants to go camping. Daniel seems determined to bring down Cobra Kai and its bullies. Amanda asks him how he will run a karate dojo while having a full-time job. Daniel tells her that he can balance both things. Meanwhile, Miguel's mother, Carmen, goes to Johnny's house and gives him a dessert she made. Johnny invites her in, and they eat. Carmen thanks Johnny for training and taking care of Miguel, but she is afraid that Miguel may become aggressive due to the karate. Johnny assures her that he will not let Miguel go down the wrong path. Suddenly, his telephone rings. On the phone, Kreese gives Johnny the time and location to meet and hangs up the phone. After that, we see Samantha looking at Miguel's Instagram in her room. She looks at their photos and blocks Miguel. At the same time, Miguel and his friends are in a bar to celebrate after winning the tournament. Miguel does not look very happy and sees that Samantha has blocked him. Hawk and Aisha try to cheer him up. Hawk says that Miguel is now a champion and can easily get any girl. The following morning, Johnny meets Kreese in a diner. Kreese says that he enlisted in the army and traveled worldwide for secret military missions. Kreese offers his partnership with Cobra Kai. Johnny rejects his offer and warns Kreese to stay away from his students. Johnny says that Cobra Kai does not need Kreese and then leaves. After that, Daniel shows Robbie the rules of Miyagi-Do Karate. The first rule is that karate is for defense only. The second rule is to learn the first rule. Then we see the students entering the Cobra Kai. They see the dojo in disarray. Some new students are also there. Johnny asks the new students to come tomorrow. After that, he turns to his old students. Johnny says that there will be no more cheating and dirty fighting after their dirty victory. He wants them to be strong enough to win a fair fight. Afterwards, Miguel goes to Johnny. He asks Johnny why he now wants them to fight clean and show mercy. After all, Johnny was the one who taught them to win at all costs. Johnny tells Miguel that he was wrong and is learning too. Miguel asks why Johnny seemed so defensive towards Robbie during the fight. Johnny deflects the question and preaches to Miguel the lesson of fighting with honor and living with dignity. Later that day, Samantha asks Aisha to hang out with her, but Aisha refuses because she already has made plans with her friends. After teaching his students, Johnny goes to a hardware store to replace the broken mirror. There, he meets Raymond, who is an annoying man-child worker there. He also encounters Daniel and Robbie there. Daniel leaves Robbie and Johnny alone to talk. Johnny wants to make things right with Robbie, but Robbie is unhappy with Johnny for allowing Miguel to fight dirty against him. Johnny calls Daniel a prick. Robbie responds by saying that Mr. LaRusso is a better man than Johnny will ever be, and leaves. In the parking lot, Robbie tells Daniel that Johnny still cares more about his rivalry with Daniel than his son. Later, when Daniel reaches home, he sees Samantha doing her karate moves. Daniel advises her to move on from Miguel. He says that he is opening Miyagi-Do Karate to take down Cobra Kai bullies, but Samantha does not want any part in that because those bullies are still her friends. At night, Johnny is in his dojo, fixing the mirror on the wall. He recalls his time with his sensei Kreese, who taught him to be a tough man. Meanwhile, Daniel is at Miyagi-Do, where he tells Robbie his new strategy. Instead of taking down Cobra Kai, he will teach his future students a different and better way of karate. There, Samantha also decides to join Miyagi-Do. Then, we see Kreese revisiting Johnny in the dojo. Kreese apologizes for his past behavior and says that he had come here for a second chance to make things right with Johnny. He gives Johnny his newly repaired second-place trophy from the 1984 All-Valley Tournament and leaves. Johnny feels sorry for Kreese and calls after Kreese as he leaves. Kreese stops and quietly smirks. The next morning, Miguel and Johnny prepare for their day and leave together in Johnny's freshly painted car. After that, we see Robbie woken up from his sleep by the sound of someone sneaking into his home. Robbie throws a flying kick at this man. Robbie's mother enters and helps the man get up. We learn that the man is her latest boyfriend, Rick. She is going to Mexico with Rick for a few days, leaving Robbie alone. When they are leaving, Robbie threatens Rick not to harm his mother. Later, when Samantha enters Miyagi-Do, she gets a call from Aisha. When she picks up, Miguel talks from the other side. He is secretly using Aisha's phone to make things right with Samantha. He apologizes to Samantha and wants her back in his life. Samantha tells him that it is not so easy for her and hangs up. Inside, she sees Robbie training. Soon, Daniel arrives and starts their training. Daniel introduces them to a new training called the wheel technique. 2 people can become as strong as 20 people using the wheel technique. He makes a circle with sand and asks them to get inside. He asks them to be in sync and do similar moves together. After that, Daniel leaves for the office due to an emergency. At Cobra Kai, Johnny asks Miguel to warm up the new students. Kreese is also standing beside Johnny, but only as an observer. While warming up, Miguel starts goofing around with the students. Johnny gets furious and lashes out at them. He orders his students to gather outside early tomorrow morning for a punishment exercise. At the dealership, Amanda tells Daniel that she needs him there, but Daniel wants to go and train his students as it's their first day. He asks Amanda how many sales they need to meet their quota. Amanda says that they need to sell 10 more cars. Amanda and Daniel team up and successfully sell 10 cars within one day. After that, they have a celebratory drink. The next morning, Johnny and his students are at a construction site. His students are mixing the cement with their hands as punishment. Suddenly, a man with the cement truck arrives and gives Johnny the keys. He leaves after saying that Johnny will be responsible for any bad outcome. Meanwhile, at Miyagi-Do, Samantha and Robbie are unable to predict and synchronize their movements. Daniel devises a plan to keep them in balance. He asks them to stand on a floating wooden platform in the garden. He instructs them to perform their moves together without falling into the water. They fail and try again and again. On the other hand, Johnny has arranged a punishment exercise for his students. He asks his students to get inside the cement truck and turn the mixer by themselves. The students are already very tired and refuse to comply. Seeing the students hesitate, Kreese shames them with a motivational speech. He also reveals that he was Johnny's sensei. He succeeds in convincing them. After that, students get inside the truck. Together, they manage to turn the mixer. At Miyagi-Do, Samantha and Robbie also succeed in practicing their balance and coordination. Later, Johnny cleans his students using a water pipe and asks them not to discuss this with anyone. He feels proud of them. After the training, Samantha and Robbie talk. Robbie informs her that he worries about some stuff at home and that his mom has left him alone. When Robbie leaves, Samantha speaks about this to her father. After that, Daniel goes to Robbie's home and sees him living all alone in poor conditions. He brings Robbie home to live with them as a guest until Robbie's mother comes back. Amanda suggests that Daniel should have consulted Johnny before taking Robbie in. Johnny and Kreese are sitting inside the dojo. Kreese appreciates Johnny for putting the students through today's tough training session. They decide to go out to grab a beer. Meanwhile, Miguel enters Johnny's house to drop off some food. There, he notices Robbie's picture on the fridge. When Johnny and Kreese come out of the mini-mart with the bears, they run into Daniel. When Daniel sees Johnny reunited with Kreese, he decides not to tell Johnny about Robbie. He is not happy with Johnny bringing Kreese back. Daniel warns both that they are in for a rude awakening and leaves. Johnny buys a laptop from a pawn shop. He manages to get onto the internet. While surfing the internet, he sees Daniel's new ad for Miyagi-Do. In the ad, Daniel offers karate lessons to students and subtly insults Cobra Kai. Seeing this, Johnny gets pissed. After that, we see Hawk and Dimitri playing volleyball on the beach. Dimitri lies to girls about being a part of Cobra Kai to impress them. After the girls leave, Hawk criticizes Dimitri for not joining the Cobra Kai. Miguel arrives too and tells Hawk about Robbie's picture that he saw yesterday in Johnny's house. At the dealership, Amanda is upset that Daniel spent their advertising budget on his Miyagi-Do ad, but Daniel assures her that their dealership will get its due publicity from the Valley Fest. Later, at Cobra Kai, Hawk shares with Miguel that their sensei is Robbie's father. They think that their sensei was upset after the tournament because Miguel showed no mercy to Robbie. During their discussion, Aisha arrives and informs them about Miyagi-Do's ad offering free classes and degrading the Cobra Kai. Meanwhile, in the other room, Johnny and Kreese see the ad and are angry with it. Kreese tells Johnny that the ad is an act of war and that they should respond immediately. Johnny says that he knows exactly what he should do. Later, a couple of new students arrive at Miyagi-Do to learn karate. When Daniel starts their training by asking them to paint his fence, they get confused. They accuse Daniel of scamming the children with free classes and getting his yard work done. They leave after being disappointed at Miyagi-Do. At Cobra Kai, Johnny plans to make his own ad. Aisha makes a video of Johnny showing off his karate moves. In the video, Johnny degrades Miyagi-Do. He urges everyone to come to Cobra Kai and learn real karate. After the recording is done, Johnny goes to the other room. Hawk and Miguel also enter to talk to him. They tell Johnny they know Robbie is his son, which is why he gets mad after the tournament. Johnny finally admits the truth, but scolds them anyway. He tells them that it is none of their business and gives them punishment too. Later, Daniel tells Amanda that he is having trouble finding students who understand his training techniques. He decides to hold a karate demonstration at the upcoming Valley Fest fair. After that, Kreese tells Johnny that he should have trained Robbie instead of Daniel. He also advises Johnny to be cautious and not lose Miguel to Miyagi-Do. Later that day, Johnny goes to Miguel's home and takes him out for dinner. At dinner, Johnny makes amends with Miguel. He tells Miguel the story of Robbie's birth. Johnny says he did not dare go to the hospital nearby and accompany his wife to Robbie's birth. He was never there for Robbie from the beginning. He promises to do better with Miguel than he did with Robbie. While they are talking, Miguel receives a text from Aisha. Miguel reads the text and informs Johnny that Miyagi-Do is having a demonstration at Valley Fest. At night, Daniel is demonstrating his Miyagi-Do karate at Valley Fest with the help of Robbie and Samantha. Suddenly, they are interrupted when Cobra Kai arrives and starts their own much more flashy demonstration. In the demo, Hawk breaks a wooden board held by Dimitri with a flying kick. The crowd, including Raymond, the man-child, cheers for them. In the end, Sensei Johnny comes forward and breaks fiery cement blocks with his bare hands. The next day, Dimitri enters the Cobra Kai dojo after hours to sign up. He is relieved to see Kreese and considers him to be a better alternative to Johnny. Dimitri attempts to lay down his rules and disrespects Kreese's tattoo. In the next scene, he leaves the dojo with a bloody nose. At Miyagi-Do, Robbie and Samantha are curious about why Cobra Kai is more popular than Miyagi-Do. Robbie tells her that Cobra Kai teaches offensive karate, which looks more appealing. At the same time, Miyagi-Do is all about karate as a means of self-defense. Samantha jokingly says to go and pick a fight at the mall to demonstrate their karate. Robbie responds by saying that maybe that is not a bad idea. The following day, the landlord is at the dojo and informs Johnny that he is increasing the rent. According to the landlord, the rent should also be higher since Johnny has more students now. They have a handshake agreement. Johnny is frustrated and asks him to leave from the back door. Then Johnny goes to the main dojo and addresses his students. Some new faces are there, including Raymond. Johnny goes to Raymond and tells him that he is too old to be here. Raymond insists that he wants to be here and learn to kick some ass. Johnny agrees to include him for a trial period after Raymond gives him money. After that, he turns to his students. He tells them that they need to fight if they want to learn karate and become a champion. Then, he asks for a volunteer to fight Miguel. No one raises his hand. Suddenly, a girl from behind volunteers to fight. She tells Johnny that she saw their demo at the Valley Fair and wants to know if they can fight. Johnny asks the two of them to fight. Miguel hesitates initially, but fights when she kicks his butt. Eventually, she wins her first session with Miguel with sneaky, underhanded tactics. Meanwhile, Daniel is driving Robbie and Samantha to the beach club. Robbie asks Daniel how going to the beach will help them get more students. Daniel replies that, hopefully, he will be able to persuade the parents to sign up their kids for Miyagi-Do. He thinks that parents will want to protect their kids and send them to Miyagi-Do. When they reach the beach club, we see Amanda already waiting for them outside. While entering, Robbie tells Samantha that he worked here last summer, and it did not go very well. Later, in the mini-mart, Aisha receives a text. The same girl who fought Miguel earlier enters and sees Aisha irritated at the phone. She asks Aisha if it is a boy. Aisha tells her that her mother wants her to go to the beach club with her. The girl asks Aisha what's wrong with going to the beach. Aisha replies that her friend Samantha will be there, and they are not on talking terms these days. Aisha introduces herself, and we learn that the other girl's name is Tori. Aisha asks Tori why she joined Cobra Kai when she can already kick ass. Tori answers that she has taken some boxing lessons in her life and wants to fight the boys. When Tori is about to exit, Aisha asks her if she will accompany her to the beach club. Tori agrees to join her. Then, we see Hawk on a video call with Dimitri. Dimitri informs him that Kreese assaulted him. Instead of supporting, Hawk tells him to get over it. Apparently, Hawk is fond of Kreese's attitude. Hawk warns Dimitri not to tell anyone about Kreese's assault and hangs up. Miguel hears Dimitri yelling and asks Hawk about it. Hawk tells him that Dimitri could not handle training with Kreese and that he is not Cobra Kai material. After that, Miguel goes to Johnny and expresses his concerns about Kreese. Johnny assures Miguel that Kreese and he shared a complicated past and that Kreese deserves a second chance. He asks Miguel not to worry about Kreese. Meanwhile, at the beach club, Daniel talks to a father about the younger generation. The father says his kid can't fight and spends his time playing video games. Hearing this, Daniel says that is why he will use the old ways. The father asks Daniel what he is up to. In the club, Samantha and Robbie lie on their chairs when Samantha spots Aisha. Seeing Samantha upset, Robbie asks her what the matter is. Samantha says that her friend from Cobra Kai is here too. She wants to clear the air between them, but is still mad because her friends ruined Miyagi-Do's performance at Valley Fest. Robbie suggests her to go talk to her friend. After that, Samantha goes to Aisha and tries to talk to her, but Aisha is also upset with her. Samantha tells her that she should be the one upset because Aisha and her friends ruined her performance. Aisha replies that Samantha's father started it when he made the ad criticizing Cobra Kai. Samantha suggests that they should stop fighting and enjoy the summer instead of fighting about karate. Meanwhile, when Robbie is chilling by the pool, the club manager comes and tries to call the police on him. Luckily, Amanda arrives just in time. The manager tells her that he is throwing this criminal, Robbie, out. Amanda says that Robbie is her guest and cannot allow this to happen. The manager leaves after seeing her adamant. Then Amanda asks Robbie why the manager wanted to throw him out. Robbie explains that he was a different person before he met the LaRusso family. He did some stuff here with his friends and regrets it. Amanda tells him that what he did does not matter. What matters is what he does next in life. At Cobra Kai, Johnny hears Kreese threatening some guy on the phone. When Johnny asks, Kreese tells him that some guy from housekeeping has stolen his watch. At the club, Daniel is persuading the parents that their kids should learn karate so they can defend themselves from bullies. He is telling them about Miyagi-Do when suddenly, Aisha's mother arrives. She starts talking about Cobra Kai and how it made Aisha tough and confident. She praises Cobra Kai and Sensei Johnny. She also shows them the Cobra Kai performance from Valley Fest and ruins Daniel's plan of promoting Miyagi-Do. When Samantha talks to Aisha, Tori comes to them with a bottle of stolen vodka. Aisha introduces Samantha and Tori to each other. Samantha advises Tori to put the bottle back, but Tori does not listen to her. Tori and Aisha leave to have a drink. Meanwhile, Johnny decides to follow Kreese to his apartment. At the beach, Daniel is walking alone, looking upset, and sees a man fishing. The man resembles Daniel's Sensei Miyagi. Daniel goes to the fisherman. Daniel sees that the fisherman has not caught any fish yet. The fisherman responds that the key to fishing is to wait and have patience. If you have something worth fishing, the fish will find you. Daniel tells the fisherman that he is much like his friend and leaves. Daniel seemed optimistic after their conversation. Then we see Amanda lose her wallet and tell this to Samantha and Robbie. Samantha considers Tori to be the culprit and goes to her. She asks Tori to give her mother's wallet back. Tori gets furious at the accusation and pushes Samantha. Samantha drops onto the table and gets covered in cake. Robbie decides to locate Amanda's wallet. He finds several wallets on the beach, including the one lost by Amanda. But his old friends Cruz and Trey arrive, who steal the wallets and stash them on the beach. Robbie prepares to fight and places a phone to record the fight, but he is attacked from behind by their newest friend, Derek. Meanwhile, Johnny follows Kreese to his room. There he sees Kreese shouting to another tenant and realizes that Kreese has been living in a shelter home. Kreese also spots Johnny standing outside the room. Then at the beach, Daniel intervenes just in time to help Robbie. He saves Robbie and defeats the attackers all alone using his impressive karate move. At the shelter home, Kreese reveals to Johnny that he was lost and aimless after Cobra Kai shut down. He refused to take a job offered by a friend because he felt it was a handout. Kreese was then denied re-enlistment in the army after he failed the psychological evaluation. He also tells Johnny that he has been homeless for more than 10 years. Johnny decides to give him a second chance at redemption if he does things according to Johnny's ways. Kreese agrees. Later, at Miyagi-Do, Robbie shows Daniel the video in which Daniel defeats 3 guys alone on the beach. Robbie suggests that they can use the video to promote Miyagi-Do karate. Daniel refuses to use the video because it is against the principles of Miyagi-Do. He tells Robbie that they need to be patient and wait for the students to come who want to join Miyagi-Do willingly. While talking, Dimitri enters and tells them he wants to learn karate. Daniel smiles and tells him that he has come to the right place. At Cobra Kai, Johnny asks Kreese for a demonstration to the students. Kreese comes forward. He says to the students that just as the enemy lets its guard down, that's when you strike the hardest. The episode begins with a flashback to Eli before Cobra Kai, crying to his mother about being bullied. His mother calls the school, and the principal claims that she will announce it to the school. Eli tells his mother that he will always be a freak and have no friends other than Dimitri. He goes into his bedroom and cries on his bed. The scene flashes forward to the present day, where he is now going by Hawk and getting tattoo work done and his Hawk dyed red. At Miyagi-Do, Dimitri is assigned to paint the fence. He asks Daniel to cut to the chase and teach him some karate moves. Daniel hands him the paintbrush and leaves him alone. Later, Daniel tries to teach him the Miyagi-Do ways. During his training, Dimitri keeps complaining the whole time. Meanwhile, at Cobra Kai, Johnny and Kreese demonstrate to the students. They teach them to go all in when an enemy overpowers them. Later, they both appreciate each other in the office and bond. Kreese tells Johnny that Robbie should be training with his father rather than Daniel. Johnny replies that he has tried, but his son does not like him at all. Kreese advises him to go all in and try again. Later that day, Miguel and his friends hang out in a cafe. Tori teases Miguel, who is sitting alone doing something on his laptop. There, Hawk sees a negative review of Cobra Kai on Yelp. He gets angry and sees that Dimitri is doing the review. The following day, Dimitri hands Daniel a note from his mother. In the note, the mother excuses Dimitri from using extensive movements. Daniel then asks him to show a movement he taught and then attacks. But Dimitri fails to defend himself. Dimitri says he has lost his friends to Cobra Kai and sees learning Miyagi-Do as a means to fight back. But he says that he is too weak to defend himself. Then we see Johnny, who has decided to visit Robbie and go to his apartment. But there, he sees an eviction notice on the locked door of Robbie's apartment. He tries calling his ex-wife, but it goes to voicemail. Later that day, we see Dimitri hanging out with Robbie and Samantha at the mall. Dimitri leaves them to visit a comic book store. Meanwhile, at the cafe, Miguel shows Tori a romantic video he made for Samantha in the hopes of winning her back. Tori advises against it, saying the video is ridiculous and shows his desperation. At the same time, Tori is slightly moved by this gesture. Then we see Johnny entering the LaRusso dealership. He assaults a staff member named Anush and learns that Robbie has moved in with Daniel. Meanwhile, in the comic book store, Dimitri is confronted by Hawk and his friends. Hawk asks Dimitri to take down the negative review, but Dimitri denies it. Hawk then tries to take him down. Dimitri runs back to Robbie and Samantha for help, but sees that they have left. Luckily, Robbie and Samantha arrive just in time to save Dimitri. They succeed in defending Dimitri with their perfect double-team assault. Later, drunk Johnny arrives back at his apartment. He is seen by Carmen, who takes him inside her home. At LaRusso's house, Daniel runs to Robbie and Samantha after hearing about their fight. After ensuring they are fine, he tells them they did the right thing to beat those guys. Then he goes to Dimitri in the other room. He encourages Dimitri to continue his training and slowly teaches him karate moves. Then outside the Cobra Kai, Hawk's girlfriend Moon breaks up with him for fighting in the mall. After she leaves, Hawk gets angry and aggressively punches the punch bag. Kreese sees him. Hawk tells him that he got into a fight with Miyagi-Do and lost. Kreese approaches him and tells him that the fight is not over yet. Meanwhile, at Carmen's home, Johnny explains that Daniel has been a thorn in his side since high school. He tells Carmen that Daniel made his life miserable. And now, He has made his son move into LaRusso's house. Johnny wants to end this rivalry once and for all. Carmen advises against it and asks him to be a bigger man. Later, we see that Tori has taken Miguel to an abandoned playground. They hang out together, and Miguel shares his feelings about Samantha. Eventually, Tori and Miguel bond and develop feelings for each other. After that, we see Samantha and Robbie, who roast marshmallows together. They also bond together. Robbie tells her that he can't be her boyfriend, and she understands. Meanwhile, Hawk and his friends attack Miyagi-Do. The next morning, Daniel sees that Miyagi-Do has been trashed, and Mr. Miyagi's Medal of Honor has also been stolen. They also sprayed graffiti of Cobra Kai on Mr. Miyagi's classic car. This makes Daniel furious, and he drives to Cobra Kai. When he reaches there, he confronts Johnny not knowing that Kreese had ordered the students to do it. Daniel scolds Johnny for beating up his employee the day before. He accuses Johnny of destroying Miyagi-Do, stealing the Medal of Honor, and being disrespectful. Johnny tells Daniel that he did not do anything, such a thing. Now, Daniel addresses the students. He tells them that their sensei may teach them how to fight, but he can never teach them how to win at life. He advises them to leave and join Miyagi-Do. After that, Daniel leaves and is followed by half the class. The next morning, Johnny is punishing his students. He is hoping that they will give up the identity of the one who trashed Miyagi-Do. He tells his students that he did not teach them to do anything disrespectful like this. Then Johnny goes to the other room to receive a call. Hawk comes up to Kreese and tells him that he wants to admit his guilt to Johnny. Kreese advises him to be quiet and says that he will handle this. After that, Johnny comes out of the room, informs Kreese that he is leaving for the day, and puts him in charge. Meanwhile, at Miyagi-Do, the students try to put a big stone back in place and fail. Then, some kids enter to join the Miyagi-Do. Some of them are previous Cobra Kai students. Among them is Chris, the one who tried to beat up Dimitri at the mall. Dimitri warns Daniel not to let the Cobra Kai kids enter the Miyagi-Do and train, but Daniel welcomes them happily. After that, we see Johnny entering a hospital to visit a friend. At the reception, he meets his old friend from the original Cobra Kai. They visit their friend Tommy, who is terminally ill and does not have much time. Another one of their friends enters the room too. Now the whole gang is back together, and they plan to escape from the hospital with Tommy. Back at the Cobra Kai, the students are still being punished. When Kreese sees them tired, he tells them who did it. He tells them that they are all responsible because they are all Cobra Kai. When one of them makes a move, they all make a move. At Miyagi-Do, Daniel receives a call from Amanda asking him to come for a sales meeting. Daniel tells her that he must spend the day there because of new recruits. He hangs up the call when he hears Dimitri and Chris yelling. When he goes to them, Dimitri informs him that Chris tried to beat him up at the mall. Chris has apologized twice, but Dimitri just can't let it go. Daniel gives them both the task of restoring the big stone. Meanwhile, Johnny and his buddies head out on bikes for their one last road trip. They stop at a bar. While drinking beer, they remember the good old days. Johnny informs them about bringing Cobra Kai back and giving Kreese a second chance. They do not seem very happy with this news. Meanwhile, Kreese has started teaching the students. He makes Tori and another student fight each other. When Tori makes a point, she stops. Kreese asks her to continue the fight until the enemy is down. Tori is about to hit the student, but is interrupted by Miguel. Miguel tells Kreese that their sensei taught them to have mercy on the enemy. Hearing this, Kreese tells Miguel that in the real world, it's not about scoring points. It's about being a winner or a loser. At Miyagi-Do, Daniel tries to teach the students from Cobra Kai the real meaning of karate. He soon realizes that Cobra Kai has brainwashed these students. Seeing them, Robbie tells Samantha that these Cobra Kai students cannot be changed, and they should not have been allowed to enter here. Then, we see Dimitri bringing a wooden plank to use as a lever and moving the big stone. But when he tries, the wooden plank breaks. Chris makes fun of him, and they start fighting. Daniel runs to them to stop them. Robbie says to Daniel that these Cobra Kai kids can never be changed. Daniel tells them that he too was once a Cobra Kai and changed. Meanwhile, at the bar, Johnny's pals tell him that he should not have brought back Cobra Kai and Kreese. They remind him of everything Kreese did to them. Johnny tries to convince them that Kreese has changed and deserves a second chance. While talking, they see a man assaulting a lady. They go up to him, and a fight starts. Johnny and his buddies easily beat that man and his friends. At Miyagi-Do, Daniels explains to his students how he once got into Cobra Kai, which changed him. He became a violent man. He realized this and went back to his sensei, Miyagi. He tells them that anyone can change, and it does not matter who they were before entering here. Later at Cobra Kia, Miguel shares with Tori that Kreese's lessons of showing no mercy are not right. Then Tori tells him how she had a tough childhood and had to fight for everything in her life. She explains to him that the real world does not show any mercy and that Kreese is right. Then we see Dimitri and Chris working together. Together, they succeed in lifting the heavy stone. At night, while camping, Tommy and Johnny bond. Tommy shares with Johnny that he was in love with her girlfriend Allie. He did not have the courage to ask her out, and Johnny got to her first. He wanted to have confidence like Johnny, and that's why he joined Cobra Kai. After that, Miguel goes to Kreese and apologizes for interrupting his lesson. Kreese tells him that it's all right and that together they will bring Johnny back on track. The next morning, Johnny wakes up and sees that his friend Tommy has passed away. When Amanda wakes up in the morning, she sees that Daniel has already left. She calls Daniel. Daniel tells her that he has gone to Miyagi-Do for an early start. Amanda asks if he will visit the dealership for their lunch meeting with Anush. Daniel assures her that he will attend and hangs up. When he enters, he sees Kreese standing in the Miyagi-Do. Kreese thanks him for taking in Cobra Kai's weakest students from them. He explains that Daniel won once, but he won't let Johnny lose this time. He asks Daniel to prepare his students for what's coming and leaves. When Johnny arrives back at the dojo, Miguel greets him. He informs Johnny that Sensei Kreese treated them well. When Johnny enters his office, he does not find his things there. Kreese there tells him that he organized the place while he was gone. Johnny goes to his students and asks them to get ready for their training. The students told him they were supposed to go to the woods for special training. Kreese tells Johnny that it is time to separate the tough from the weak. Johnny hesitates, but the students tell him that they are ready. Eventually, Johnny agrees to it. Meanwhile, the students do not want to train today at Miyagi-Do because of the heat. Daniel asks them to stand up and train. He tells them that the fight will not always come at a time of their choice. Later, the Cobra Kai students arrive at the woods. Kreese separates them into two teams, red and black. Each team wears its own color headband. The goal is to get as many headbands from the other team as possible. There are no rules and friends or enemies today. Suddenly, Raymond also arrives there with a new name, Stingray. Then we see Miyagi-Do students fighting each other turn by turn. Samantha asks Daniel for a break from this heat. Daniel tells his students that he is going to cool them off. In the forest, Tori and Miguel defeat a red team member and show no mercy. Johnny sees this and looks worried. Meanwhile, Daniel has brought his students into a freezer room. He teaches them a lesson on adapting to their environment. He says that the cool will heighten their senses, and they will anticipate the opponent's moves quickly. While in the freezer, Daniel texts Anush that he is not coming to lunch. Then, we see Anush and Amanda sitting at the lunch table. Anush informs her that Daniel is not coming, and he leaves too. In the forest, Hawk attacks a member of the black team and takes his headband. Hawk shows the stolen Medal of Honor and thinks that he has earned it now. From a distance, Miguel sees the Medal of Honor on Hawk. While in the freezer, the students continue their training. Dimitri finds it hard to defend himself. Daniel teaches Dimitri how to defend properly. Eventually, Dimitri succeeds in defending himself. Daniel sees several missed calls from Amanda and leaves. After that, Miguel and Hawk face each other in the woods. Miguel tells him that he should not have trashed Miyagi-Do and stolen the medal. Hawk thinks that Miguel has become soft. He challenges Miguel to come and get the medal from him. They fight, and Miguel wins easily. He takes the headband and the medal from him. Miguel goes to the other team members with Hawk's headband, and they start celebrating. Suddenly, Stingray, hidden in leaves, comes from behind and takes Miguel's headband. The red team won. Johnny goes to Miguel and tells him that this is not how he taught him to fight. Miguel says to him that Sensei Kreese taught them to fight like this. Later, when Daniel reaches the dealership, Amanda informs him that Anush has quit. She complains to Daniel that she has been running the business all alone. Since he opened the dojo, Daniel turned his attention away from the business and his wife. Amanda tells him that he has lost his focus on the things that matter and leaves. Later that night, Miguel knocks at Daniel's house. Robbie opens the door. Miguel returns the Medal of Honor and tells him that he had nothing to do with trashing the dojo. When Robbie closes the door, Samantha comes and asks him who it is. Robbie lies that someone had the wrong house. Meanwhile, at the Cobra Kai, Johnny confronts Kreese for teaching the students the wrong lessons. Kreese insists that they need to learn to strike hard with no mercy. Johnny, after seeing this, decides to fire Kreese. He tells Kreese that he never wants to see him inside the dojo again. After that, Kreese leaves. The next morning, Johnny wakes up after having a romantic dream with Carmen. Then, we see Daniel waking up on a sofa in the living room. After his argument with Amanda yesterday, he slept outside. Daniel's mother, who arrived last night, asked Daniel why he slept on the sofa. Daniel lies to his mother that he is not feeling very good and does not want Amanda to get sick. Then, in the Miyagi-Do, Dimitri spots the lost Medal of Honor lying around in the backyard and gives it to Samantha. Robbie suggests that the medal might have been here the whole time. After that, when Johnny gets out of his house, he sees Carmen with a man. Carmen introduces Johnny to her newly made boyfriend, Graham. Johnny strongly presses Graham's hand during his handshake. Later, at the dealership, Daniel tries to make amends with Amanda. He orders Amanda's favorite foods for lunch. Unfortunately, Amanda must leave immediately for a lunch meeting with the sales team. Then, at Cobra Kai, Miguel and Hawk make things right between them after their fight in the woods. After that, Johnny comes and starts today's lesson. Hawk notices that Sensei Kreese is not here and asks Johnny about it. Johnny informs the students that Sensei Kreese will no longer be joining them, and that Sensei Kreese did not have the best interests of students in his heart. Later, during the lessons, Miguel asks Johnny if he wants to talk about Kreese. Johnny deflects the question and advises Miguel to focus on his lessons and his girlfriend, Tori. Miguel asks Johnny if he also wants to find a girlfriend from dating apps like his mother. Johnny agrees to it. Later in Johnny's house, we see Miguel creating Johnny's account in the app. After that, Johnny meets several women but does not like any of them. Then, we see Daniel looking at his old pictures with Amanda. Daniel's mother comes to him and assures him that everything will be fine. Meanwhile, Johnny, after trying his luck with women and failing, is sitting at a bar alone. He texts his ex-girlfriend Allie Mills on Facebook and asks to meet. Later that day, Samantha and Robbie arrive at a roller disco to enjoy some time alone. Unfortunately, they bump into Tori, who is working there. Suddenly, Miguel arrives there too, to take Tori out on a date. There, he sees Samantha with Robbie. He introduces them to Tori. Samantha realizes that Tori is Miguel's girlfriend. Meanwhile, Johnny still sits in the bar and sees Graham talking to his friend. Graham disrespectfully talks about Carmen and tells his friend that he will soon leave her. After that, we see Samantha and Miguel talking to each other about their dates. They both disapprove of each other's partners. From a distance, Tori sees them talking and feels jealous. In the next scene, we see Johnny beating Graham outside the bar. He threatens Graham to stay away from Carmen. Meanwhile, Tori pushes Samantha, causing her to fall on the floor. Samantha gets furious and shoves Tori on the floor. The security intervenes and throws Samantha and Robbie out. Later at night, Daniel goes to Amanda in the dealership hoping to make things right. Daniel brings her in his car. They remember the day when they opened the dealership together. Daniel assures her that she is the most important part of his life and that he will never lose focus on her. Eventually, they make peace with each other. After that, when Johnny reaches home, he sees Carmen outside. Carmen tells him her boyfriend Graham did not come for their date night. Johnny finally musters up the courage and asks her out on a date. The episode starts with the training scenes of Tori and Miguel training in Cobra Kai. We also see Samantha and Robbie training in Miyagi-Do. Later, Samantha and Robbie decide to tell their parents about them. Robbie sees his mother sitting with Amanda and Daniel when he enters the living room. Robbie's mother informs him that she is going to rehab to cure her. She asks Robbie to stay with Daniel for some more time. Meanwhile, Carmen has agreed to go on a date with Johnny. After she gets ready, Johnny arrives and takes her out with him. After that, we see Samantha talking to Moon on the laptop. She asks Samantha to come to her party later. Suddenly, Amanda enters the room. Amanda informs her that she and Daniel are going out for the day. She asks Samantha to take care and enjoy herself. After Amanda leaves, Samantha texts Moon that she will attend her party tonight. While choosing her dress for tonight, she remembers Miguel after seeing the octopus that he had won for her. Then we see Johnny and Carmen in a restaurant. While they are talking, Amanda and Daniel also arrive for dinner. Johnny and Daniel are not happy to see each other. Unfortunately, they must sit at the only free table near Johnny and Carmen. In the next scene, Samantha brings all her Miyagi-Do friends to Moon's party. They enter the house and are surprised to see their rivals from Cobra Kai. Samantha asks Moon why she had brought Cobra Kai there. Moon tells her that school is starting, and they should all befriend each other. Meanwhile, in the restaurant, Johnny and Daniel indirectly talk to each other and praise their dojos. Seeing this, Amanda asks the waiter to join their tables. At the party, everyone enjoys themselves. Then Tori challenges Samantha to a drinking game. After some initial hostility in the restaurant, the two couples quickly start to warm up to each other. Amanda and Carmen leave to use the washroom. Johnny and Daniel talk a bit, and they clear the air about the trashing of Miyagi-Do. Johnny tells Daniel that he has kicked Kreese out of Cobra Kai. When Carmen and Amanda return, Carmen mentions that Robbie will attend the high school. Daniel explains that if Robbie stays with them, he must go to school for them. Johnny appreciates Daniel's initiative. Then, at the party, Dimitri goes to Hawk to make amends. He tells Hawk that his bullying attitude caused Moon to break up with him. Hawk gets angry and spills his drink on Dimitri. He calls Dimitri a coward. At the same time, Tori and Samantha are competing outside. Eventually, Tori falls and Samantha wins the drinking game. After that, Samantha comes inside and wants to have another drink. Robbie asks her to stop drinking, but she does not listen to him. Then Aisha comes to her and tells her to slow down. In their conversation, Samantha finds out that Miguel was the one who returned the Medal of Honor and gave it to Robbie. Meanwhile, Dimitri decides to take his revenge and walks up to the stage. He embarrasses Hawk in front of everyone by revealing Hawk's deep personal information. Then Miguel goes outside to Samantha and asks her if she is all right. Samantha thanked him for returning the medal. While talking, she nearly falls, but Miguel grabs her. Tori sees them together and leaves furiously. Inside, the Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do are about to fight each other, but the police arrive just in time and clear the place out. When Robbie sees Samantha in a completely drunk state, he takes her to Johnny's home instead of Daniel's. Johnny enters the door and lets them in. The next morning, Daniel enters Samantha's room and sees it empty. Their son Anthony informs them that Samantha did not return home last night. Daniel tracks Samantha's phone and finds out her location. He gets in the car to follow the coordinates. Meanwhile, Robbie wakes up and sees his childhood drawings that his father has always kept. Johnny tells him that he is going to inform Daniel about Samantha, but Robbie does not want Daniel to see Samantha drunk and wants to take all the blame on himself. Suddenly, Daniel arrives at Johnny's apartment. He knocks at the door and asks if Samantha is there. Johnny confirms that she is, but refuses to let him in. He shuts the door on Daniel's face, but Daniel breaks down the door and enters. Daniel and Johnny immediately begin to fight. Hearing them fight, Samantha and Robbie leave the room and stop them. Robbie tells Daniel that it was his fault and he brought Samantha here. Daniel gets angry at Robbie and leaves with Samantha. In the next scene, the students enter the West Valley High School. It is the first day after the summer break. Miguel is also there, and we see that Tori is not replying to his texts. Then, we see Daniel dropping Samantha at school. In the car, Samantha apologizes again. Daniel asks her to always come to him in trouble. He advises her to focus on her studies from now on. Meanwhile, Johnny has also come to drop Robbie off at school. They talk a little in the car and seem to be on good terms now. Later, when Samantha stands at her locker, Robbie comes to her. Samantha regrets going to Johnny's apartment instead of her home. They decide not to lie anymore. Robbie tells her Miguel has returned the Medal of Honor. He did not say anything to her because he felt insecure about Miguel. Samantha thanks him for telling her the truth, and they leave to attend their classes. Meanwhile, Stingray is at school too, applying for a security guard job. When the students are in their classes, Tori announces the speaker. She threatens Samantha that she is coming to hunt her down. When the class finishes, the students go out. In the hallway, Tori attacks Samantha. Robbie comes running for her help. He pushes Tori away. Miguel sees this and starts fighting Robbie. Now, a battle starts between Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do students. The security head tries to control them, but fails. Seeing this, Stingray comes forward and attacks several Miyagi-Do students. Hawk sees Dimitri and runs after him. Tori is still fighting Samantha, and Miguel tries to intervene. Tori kicks him and pushes him away too. While fighting, they reached upstairs. Tori wears a spiked bracelet on her hand to injure Samantha. Meanwhile, Hawk attacks Dimitri. Dimitri defends himself and defeats Hawk. Miguel and Robbie fight each other. Then we see Tori injuring Samantha's wrist with the bracelet. Just as she is about to kill Samantha with the bracelet, Samantha blocks and then kicks her down the stairs. Now we turn to Robbie and Miguel, the last two fighting. Eventually, Miguel overcomes Robbie, but Miguel shows mercy and leaves Robbie. Suddenly, Robbie gets up and kicks Miguel. Miguel falls from the balcony and lands on the stairs. He lies there unconscious. Later, we see Miguel in the hospital. Carmen blames Johnny for Miguel's condition and tells him that she never wants to see him again. Samantha is also in her hospital bed getting stitches. Amanda tells her that she will make sure that Tori gets expelled. Samantha cries and hopes for Miguel to be okay. Daniel finds it hard to believe that Robbie would do something like this. Meanwhile, Johnny is standing outside Miguel's room. Suddenly, he receives a voice message left by Miguel earlier. In the message, Miguel asks Johnny to hang out and seeks his help to resolve some girlfriend troubles. Johnny gets emotional after listening to the message. Later that day, Johnny goes back to his dojo. There, he sees Kreese training Hawk and a few other students. Kreese tells Johnny that he let his students down when they needed him the most. Johnny comes forward, but the students come in front of Kreese. Hawk blames Johnny for Miguel's condition. Miguel showed mercy to Robbie because of him. Kreese reveals that he has negotiated a deal with the landlord and renewed the building's lease in his name. Cobra Kai is Kreese's dojo now. Johnny can't do anything since he has been on a handshake deal with the landlord. Johnny then tells Kreese that if he wants Cobra Kai, he can have it, and then leaves. After that, we see Daniel and Amanda, who are still in the hospital. Daniel promises her that he won't let Cobra Kai get away with what they did, but Amanda demands Daniel give up karate and Miyagi-Do. Daniel hesitates at first, but then agrees to stop the karate. Later, we see Johnny getting drunk on the beach. He remembers his good old time with Miguel. He gets angry and throws his phone away. He then throws his car keys into his car and leaves. In the last scene, we see a friend request on his phone from his ex-girlfriend, Allie.